Alrighty. Well, in this lesson, we are going to talk about dividing with decimals. And so we're going to get started right away. Our goal is to be able to divide decimals by single-digit whole numbers involving easily identifiable multiples using our place value and using our written method. So again, our goal is just dividing some easily identifiable decimals. So we're going to start with this problem right here. It's 9/10 divided by 3. And I hope the thing that you're noticing right off the bat is, wait a minute, I'm dividing a small number, like a part of a number, 9/10, by a whole number, 3. But it's really okay, because what I can do with 9 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So I drew 9 dots or 9 discs, and I can group those and turn them into groups of 3, right? So 9/10 divided by 3. Well, now I have 3/10, right, in each one of my groups, because each of these represents the tenths place value. And so if we're thinking about this as tenths place value, well, 9/10 divided by 3 equals 3/10, right? Because I could easily take those 9/10 and break them up into 3 groups. Let's try it with another one. I'm just going to move on my board. I'm going to go ahead and leave that up. Oh, let me pick a different color. I'm going to undo that circle, and let's work in green here. And so we're going to do 24 hundredths, okay, divided by 4, okay? So again, I'm going to take my 24, and I could do discs, right, and make equal groups of those, okay, and dividing those up. I can think about how many times 4 goes into 24 as a whole number and just work through that, right? So I can know my multiples of 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So 6 groups of 4 equals 24. Well, what that tells me is that when I take 24 and I divide by 4/10, I'm going to get 6 hundredths, okay? Because I took that 24 and I counted my multiples, okay? And I get 6 hundredths. And so a lot of what we're doing is just making sure we're maintaining our place value. Oopsie, that was supposed to be the eraser. I don't know how many times I have done that, y'all. Okay, so then let's think about another one. Let's think about if we had 32 thousandths, so it's going to look like this, right? And we're dividing that by 8. Still, no big deal, right? I can think about this like 32 divided by 8, or how many groups of 8 can I make from 32, right? And so if I think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a group of 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's a group of 8. I only have 16 right now, so that's not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a group of 8. Again, I'm still not to this 32 yet, so I've got to do one more group of 8. And so this is just a way to model what's happening. And there's my last group of 8. Now I have 32 dots. If you counted every single one of those, I would have 32 dots. So what that tells me is 32 thousandths divided by 8 is, I have 4 groups, right? So 4 thousandths. Okay, and again, it's just thinking about my place value and what that place value is. These are each in the thousandths place value, and so kind of how that might look and how we can think about that. Okay, so it's just having those multiple groups there. Okay, let's give it one more shot at least and make sure you're understanding kind of what we're doing here and what this division means. So if I take a whole number, for example, well, a whole number and a partial, so 1.5, is how we could say that. And I divide this by 5, right? So I'm going to divide that by 5. Again, I can look at this like I have 15 tenths, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15 tenths. And you'll notice, and it's because I already know my basic facts, and if you do, you're going to automatically separate them out like this. So how many groups do I have here? Well, I have 3 groups of 5, which tells us that this equals 3 tenths. So I'm going to put my decimal point in my 3, right? Because again, these are 15 tenths is how we want to think about this. Think about these like they're tenths, and you're going to go to that smallest place value to think about them like they are that particular place value. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to send you on your way to work on your student journal, lesson 13. Okay, so let's get this last problem kind of worked through. So if we take 1 and 5/100ths and we divide that by 5, right? It's like thinking 105 hundredths. And so how many times am I going to count by 5 to get there? Or the way that I view this right off the bat is 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 10, 5, 10, twice. So 21. And then I have to think about my place value, right? I need to end up in this hundredths place value, so 21 hundredths. And then I'm finished with that problem. So on these first ones, it's really thinking about your general basic facts and how to move amongst that place value. So again, you're going to work on lesson 13 in your student journal.